Your bucket, your store is just jabbed full of holes all over the place, top, bottom, side, and it's just gushing water out the sides. All the water that comes leaking out of that bucket is lost money, lost opportunity, and lost sales. Picture your store like it's like a bucket, okay? The store is the bucket, okay? And the water that we pour into this bucket is the traffic, okay? And the water that stays in the bucket is sales, all right? But your bucket, in a perfect world, it'd be easy, just fill it up, okay? But the problem is your bucket, your store, is just jabbed full of holes all over the place, top, bottom, side, and it's just gushing water out the sides. All the water that comes leaking out of that bucket is lost money, lost opportunity, and lost sales, okay? So that's all that water that's going in, you're paying for that water. That's your traffic. But only the water that stays in is your actual sales. Everything else is lost. And that is what an e-commerce store is. It's several hundred different leaks that are always out there. And you can never get a perfectly patched bucket, by the way, but you can patch a lot of them. The problem is people put up their store, don't patch anything, and then go try to make traffic work. Okay, and then they spend all this money on traffic, and most of these people are way better at traffic than they need to be, but because they're trying to basically fill up a bucket that'll never fill. And that's because their conversion rate is down, their bounce rate is high, they have buggy code that's causing glitches on the page, they have inconsistent advertise or message to market match, their product images don't convey the value, their product itself doesn't relate to what the ad was, their copy doesn't provide enough information. It's just a gazillion different things, from super techie stuff to the most common thing like, do you show the back of your product? Little things like that. And all of those contribute to that leaky bucket. So when I see a successful store, and when we work on a successful store, that store has done everything they possibly can to patch up their bucket, to maintain as much of the water in that bucket as possible. And that's the process of optimizing your store. It's just something that most people don't do. They hear conversion rate optimization and they're like, I don't even know what the hell that is. That's like KPIs. Everybody talks about KPIs, but nobody knows what a KPI is. So they ignore them and they think, okay, well, my conversion rate's at 0.5% or 1%. Well, I'll just I got one sale out of 100 visitors. Well, let's just get 200 visitors. The problem is that that's not a scalable way to grow a business. It's a way to go bankrupt.
I point that out all the time to people, is that, first of all, when things go bad, the first thing they blame is the traffic, right? They always blame traffic's the only, it's either the wrong traffic, it's not enough traffic, it's this and this. When I sit there and say a 0.5%, like a half a point uptick in your conversion is talking about thousands and tens of thousands or even $100,000 left on the table that you're not collecting. But people don't do that. So I feel like people forget that. I also think people forget, they think the value is in the product they sell. And I think value encompasses everything: your user experience, your packaging, customer support, your shipping speed. Why are store owners so afraid, or I get maybe afraid is the wrong word, but why are they so not focused on being brand centric or just don't see the value in it?
So I think there's a lot of misinformation about what a brand truly is. So the first thing is from my perspective, I don't believe you can build a brand. I don't think you can do it. A brand is the result. It's the reward of building a profitable company and doing all the advertising, the marketing, and everything else right. The reward for doing that, aside from money, is that you wind up with a brand. People talk about, I'm going to go build branding and do it. It's bullshit, because honestly, there's less brands than there are stores and businesses out there. So I believe that, but what I think the bigger problem is that, number one, they don't know how to do it. Number two, the people they're learning from have never done it themselves. And number three, it's work. It's hard work, and it's not sexy. Building a stable, solid, and sustainable company is not fun. It's much cooler to just go play with traffic. And traffic's sexy. That's why if you look at what's sold in the marketplace in terms of courses, everything has a traffic focus on it. New traffic strategy, new this, new that. Very little is there any on core business fundamentals and how to build a strong brand. And I think that's it. It's the same thing with like I'm in the middle of a full-blown restoration on a 1971 Bronco. I had this great idea naively of what this process was going to look like. It's a metric shit ton of work that I don't even want to do anymore. I just wanted to paint the car, have a cool lift kit, and like drive it around. But that's the sexy stuff. But right now I'm in the nuts and bolts, replacing everything, getting rid of rust and doing all the stuff that ultimately will give me what I want. But I fell into the trap of, oh, this will be cool. This is easy. I'll just do this. It's not. And building a business is the same way.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want, check out our most recent video over here. And this one is the one YouTube thinks you'll like. But if you really enjoyed watching, please do me a favor, like and subscribe over here. Thank you so much.